something that did kind of, I wasn't too fond of, where it's the bag he had. And to me, it looked like it belonged to a woman. To other people, it may not. That's just my opinion on what I see, to each his own.
Dress in the fly crib and I jump in the flight whip. Every time you see me, I'm wearing some flight. Even when you don't see me, I'm wearing some flight. Track record stainless, never do I miss. Boy, I be dripping, them other guys there miss. Like Sierra, ain't that a? And I'm a stylist that's points and assists. Sheesh, who kill it like this?
What's poppin', world? I'm Mojo Forbes, and I would like to welcome you back to Compliments of Style. You heard? On today's episode, I would like to cover things that happen in the fashion industry, or just the industry period, right? Because fashion is all over. It really don't matter what industry it is. Everyone is indulging in it at some point, especially if you're in front of the camera. But I would like to talk about the things that crosses the line when it comes to what should belong to women or what should belong to men, what's in the middle, and who decided to cross the lines, right? So what brought this to my attention was A$AP Rocky have a Chanel deal that's huge. To have a Chanel deal and to be doing ads for the company, he's like the face of the brand right now, what it's looking like, right? With all the ads, and it's super dope, very creative. The last one I saw was in a subway, looked like they was in New York or something, and I just got back from New York a couple months ago, so it really caught my attention. And I think it was very creative, very dope. Something that did kind of, I wasn't too fond of, where it's the bag he had. And to me, it looked like it belonged to a woman. To other people, it may not. That's just my opinion on what I see, to each his own. But it just made me go to thinking of just how much that's happening, right? How people crossing lines down to people painting their fingernails, right? You see people in the NFL with their fingernails painted, man. And look, hey, again, to each his own. I'm not here to judge. I'm just curious of what is too far, or what you should or shouldn't do. At the end of the day, we're adults. You do what you want to do. But this is what we here for. We're here to talk about things in fashion and what's going on, and it's the topic of discussion today, right? So before I dive into that more, I want to speak on my take on it, and as far as what I choose to do for myself when it comes to that, because it is blurred lines in certain cases. So around like middle school time, I started buying women Air Force Ones, because if you look at the shoe, you can't tell if it's a man's shoe or a woman's shoe. It's like the brand tell you who it belongs to and who it's for. But as far as the way it looked, the way it's designed, the color scheme, anyone could wear it, right? So at first, I was just buying men's shoes because it would just be black shoes, white shoes, gray shoes, and black and white, just mixtures, but it was very, very safe colors, and that was cool, but I just was interested in more, being more creative and putting together more fits. So I noticed that the women's shoes looked like neutral shoes that men or women could wear. It was just a size difference. And typically, women's shoes are like a size and a half smaller than men's sizes. So if you just size up to your size, and then bam, it's normal. It's no difference. So nowadays, it's all kind of colors, right? Like men's shoes being dropped, and it's random colors. A lot of mixes, a lot going on with shoes. Everyone is being very creative. I think is dope, right? And that's happening all across the board with different brands, clothing, shoes. It's just a combination of everything, right? But it's still some things that you see it and it's like, that really is created for a woman. That is created for a man. And women is able to cross more than men are able to, right? Because they could kind of put something on and make it look sexy and switch it up. But when a man put it on, it's just like, it really looked like feminine. Some men that's their thing, right? And again, we're not here to judge you over here at Compliments of Style. We love everyone, whatever your preference is. That don't have anything to do with this, right? I'm just specifically speaking on what you feel is crossing the line or not, right? I just want to know what other people think about it. Me personally, I stick to the shoes. I stick to the shoes because I don't think the clothing is really suitable for men. So in this ad with A$AP Rocky, the Chanel clothes is super fly. I don't see anything feminine, anything crossing the line with the clothing, right? I think they did a good job at the designs he's wearing, but it was the bag in particular. And they do have bags for men that look like it could be neutral, but this in particular, it just wasn't for me. Right, but shout out to A$AP Rocky. I've been checking him out for a long time. He actually made his name with getting fly. Like, that was the thing they did. That's how his group of friends was developed. I've seen multiple interviews with people that grew up with him, that was a part of the A$AP mob, A$AP Ferg, and they just talk about their upbringing and just having a love and a passion for fashion is what brought them together. And then they started making a name for themselves in music. And now he's cross-branding with music and fashion, and it's just like the fashion thing just taking off. I see him presenting himself as a family man now. He's getting old. I think that's great. Him and Rihanna's looking amazing, and she's taking off in the fashion industry too. So it's a great thing, right? I'm not judging anyone. I'm just curious, right? Me personally, I say no. Like, we're gonna make sure what we pushing over here as far as my upbringing and as far as what I'm instilling into my son, it's just certain things we do, certain things we don't do. But you do what you choose to do. So that's another episode of Compliments of Style. I am your host, Mojo Forbes, and stay tuned in for more, baby. Peace.